I wrote this journal entry today, October 26th, 2023 at 3:33 p.m. It's been over a month since I've written a journal entry in here. My brain is overwhelmed with a lot of worry, so I feel I am overdue for a journal entry. I feel like I have to admit something to myself, but I'm not sure what it is. Part of me wonders if I have to admit that I'm depressed, but I hesitate to call myself depressed. One, because I don't want to self-diagnose myself, but two, I've been depressed, and it is a lot worse than what I've been going through these past several months. But it doesn't feel accurate to say I'm just sad either. I feel similar things one feels when they're depressed. Numbness and pointlessness, and I sleep in really late and I don't feel anything. It's worse than sadness. Sadness oftentimes occurs as a result of having lost something meaningful. But at least you know you once had something meaningful. But I don't feel anything meaningful in my life. I don't feel a connection towards anything, really. Not even my writing sometimes. I'm not suicidal, but I feel that my life doesn't have any purpose. I remember a time when it did, when the sun shining through the yellow autumn leaves meant something, when the colors of life were vivid and demanded I feel their beauty. But for a long time now, I haven't felt anything when in the midst of beauty the way I used to. The only thing I can feel is that there was a time I used to feel it. There is a ghost of meaning living within me, and I am oh so aware that it is only a ghost. The old quote, "It is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all," keeps crossing my mind. I have loved and I have lost love, but it's been so long now, it feels as if I am more so the latter part of that quote now. It feels that I am now the person who has never loved at all. That's the closest I can come to describing the lack of color and the pointlessness and the meaninglessness in my life. It feels like I've never loved. Like I can't love. I feel like I can't love. And I don't even know how to want to. I'm very lonely. I think that's something I have to admit to myself. There was a time when I wasn't. When I was alone but not lonely. When I was living in meaningful solitude, and I really needed that, and I still advocate for that. But that time has passed now. It worked for me once, but not anymore. That was once what I needed, but is no longer. I don't know what it is I need now. Meaning is what I need, but meaning is always what a person needs. The question is, what areas of my life am I lacking that meet the meaning that I need? Where can the meaning be found? There are things I know I can do better. I can get up earlier, stick to my schedule, stick to my diet, but I think I've underestimated the effect that lacking meaningful connections in your life has on one's productivity. Or maybe that isn't necessary for everyone, but I think it is for me. Don't get me wrong, I do believe I can do better at being productive even now, but there's something to the idea that a person may require a certain amount of meaning in their different areas of life before they can feel there is even a point to being productive. I think that's what it is. That's why I have such a difficult time waking up early and sticking to my schedule and writing my memoir and so on. I don't really believe there is a point to it all. I talk often about how one of my biggest flaws regarding productivity is how inconsistent I am. I think I'm inconsistent because I go through periods where I feel like my life is meaningless and other periods where I feel like my life is meaningful. I've noticed that when I'm going through a lazy slump, I'm usually working myself up to finding a purpose and meaning again. I'll even do or watch things that I know I'll find meaning in, like watching Harry Potter or watching a long-form YouTube video on topics of meaning or things like that imply meaning, like philosophy or religion or science or politics and so on. I think I can understand intellectually that life can be meaningful, but I don't know how to believe that my life is meaningful. And when I do, I don't know how to believe it for more than 3 or 4 days. That is how long my productive days and my lazy slumps tend to last. I still don't know where to begin to help me feel like my life is meaningful, but at least now I have identified a connection between my lack of meaning as well as my lack of connection and my productivity or lack thereof. I still feel lost, really lost to be honest. I feel confused even. But maybe we're not meant to exist alone. Maybe that's part of the problem. Thank you for listening.